What's up YouTube, Mambuna Marcus here. Figured I'd just give you guys a quick update on the 120. Again, just a very impromptu video. It was looking very good tonight. Gave this tank a very thorough cleaning the other day. And when I do that, you know, the fish in the tank look at its best, obviously. And you know, it's really nice to capture a tank when it's looking up to its full potential. And as you can see, you know, there's quite a bit of color in the tank. The fish are doing very nicely. You know, again, recently I just did you know, a fish room update video, so not a whole lot has changed. Maybe a few tank inhabitants, but you know, I figured we'll scroll in and take a closer look at a few of these guys. And right in front of you is the Drosophilus. That's a Lamprologus species. Very beautiful. A good substitute, you know, for a Frontosa. Anybody who wants to keep Frontosa know that they get very large and obviously are not necessarily the most compatible fish species with a cichlid mixture. But the Drosophilus itself works out very well. They seem to max out about at 5.5 inches. There might be some specimens out there that get a little larger, but they give you that whole Frontosa look and color pattern in that small size, which makes them very ideal. Other than that, here are some of my red Marble Convicts. Again, everything looks like it's glowing tonight. You know, once I flip over the limestone rock, that will get obviously covered and encrusted in algae over time. And the best way I eliminate it is just by flipping up the rock. So as you can see, it looks like I've done something to clean them, but nothing, I didn't do anything very special. Other than that, just kind of rescaped the you know, the tank a little bit. And then these red Marble Convicts tend to like take the right corner of the aquarium, and there's probably 5 or 6 females in the aquarium. And as you can see, they like to interact with each other and basically act a little bit like a horde. They really kind of keep to this corner and do their own thing, so they don't really bother anybody. Once in a while they'll kind of have a little spat amongst themselves, but nothing too major. As you can see, they're very colorful, and I figure, you know what, I had a few kicking around, why not add a little more color to the 120. So let's also move on to the Salvini Cichlid. Beautiful species. This is an individual female. Salvinis are known to be very aggressive, and I do have some other Salvinis in my other aquariums, and believe me, they live up to their reputation. This variant though seems to be a little more passive than some of the others I've kept in the past, but as you can see, very stunning coloration, and this female is probably on her better behavior just because you know, she doesn't have a mate in the aquarium. I'm sure if I threw a male into the tank, there would be basically World War III would end up, and I don't want my whole tank to be run and occupied by Salvinis, even though they're a very beautiful species. I figure I'll catch this Julie once she comes down a little bit. It's funny that she was up that high in the aquarium. Normally she likes to hang out below by the rocks, but again, very cool color pattern. Actually, not so much of a color pattern, just a cool pattern altogether. That's what makes the Julie species very desirable. Maybe she'll come in a little closer. This female always gets in the way. And again, you know, is going to be a little shy and probably end up behind some of the rock work. So maybe we'll get back to her, maybe not. My Friar Eye male, I've had this guy for a number of years, probably about 3 years, doing very well. He's always been a little slender, has a good appetite, but really doesn't put the weight on. Since then, you know, I've also increased the feedings on this aquarium. My fish have grown very nicely. I use a mixture of North Fin veggie and cichlid pellet, and I've now also included extreme into the diet as well. My large Madagascar, who's up here, hey, maybe comes down and I can actually get it in the video. Its black silhouette against the black background is so hard to film, but either way, she likes her large Hikari gold pellets that float on top. But either way, unless she comes down into the light, I'll not waste too much time on her. I introduced a trio of hap-living stone-eye not too long ago. This is one of the females. Maybe I can find the male. Yep, there he is. Obviously chasing the females around, but a very, very beautiful species. Obviously is going to get some more size to them, but at this point have not proved to be problematic at all in this aquarium. They're close cousins of Venustus. I find they can be pretty troublesome, especially with time. But I've never had the same issues with the living stone eye. So other than that, that's the trio. We got this good looking guy. He is a Mapanga red. Some people will call them Chilumba reds. I'm not too sure. Both those species look almost identical, and I believe the collection points are not too far apart from the lake. So you know what, Mapanga, Chilumba, not too sure. It'd be really nice if he comes down. Again, everybody kind of hanging out at the upper part of the aquarium tonight. This is my OB, or my kind of my blueberry cobalt blue zebra. Very, very nice. When he's all fired up, he kind of loses the blotches, but really, really happy with this guy, how he's turned out. He adds some nice dimension to the aquarium. This is my Luino Reef, formerly Chilumba zebra, now Fanzelberii. He is one of the tank bosses, probably second in line. Very, very beautiful fish, but very camera shy. I haven't been able to do a profile video on him just because he never comes close to the front glass. But as you can see, color pattern, you know, finnage, it's again a very, very stunning fish. I prefer the Maison reefs, but I hadn't seen a nice Maison for a while, so I decided to pick this guy up. And obviously he is not disappointing. Here again is that Mapanga or Chilumba red, Labiotrophus species, beautiful. Looks like they got that nose on them. Excellent algae scraper. And again, this fish I probably have had about 3 or 4 years in this aquarium. So some of the fish that you see in here I've had for a very, very long time. Some nice staple blue ACI, purple yellowtail ACI. They have a few common names, but this species gets very large, but again makes for a nice addition into most community type African aquariums. These are two males. They hang out quite a bit with each other. And again, like I said, very, very nice addition. Quite happy with them. This is a blue dragon blood. This is a little guy I bred myself. This guy came from an OB dragon blood line. And then every once in a while, if you're breeding dragon bloods and OBs, on occasion you'll get a blue individual that will come out of the batch. Number 3 in line is my OB Peacock right here. He's kind of white with a little bit of red to him. I have bred him in the past. I've raised a few of his juveniles, and I have to say they turned out really, really well. So he's a very good quality breeder male. I'll probably introduce him to the breeding tank downstairs in maybe a month or so. I like to switch up the males down there. That way the environment doesn't you know, get too stagnant. I have another nice little red tiger Motoguense female. This is a Central American cichlid of the Parachromis group. They can get quite large and considered to be quite aggressive. My experience with certain species of Parachromis, individual females I've actually had very good luck with on their own. I actually had a female Dovi that was probably 8 to 9 inches in this aquarium for a number of years with absolutely no problem with her and any of the other tank mates. So a lot of times the Parachromis, I find the males are truly problematic, and again a combination of both male and female won't prove to be very, very good for the tank mates. Other than that, this is a bicolor 500, outstanding fish. Very, very good quality male. I did have a female early on, but she passed away. She had some internal parasites, so it's too bad. And I've kind of looked for a female here and there, just to kind of want to breed this guy. Anytime I have a good quality male, I like to make sure I can get him a female, and that way I can kind of hold on to the genetics in the future. Just kind of looking around, I don't really see anything else that really stands out that I've missed. So that's pretty much a good update on the 120. Let's see if I can get a little closer in on this bicolor. He's stunning. And he fits in very, very well into this environment. Again, you know, the staple electric yellows, I have some that have been in here for years now. You can kind of tell the wear and tear on them. They look old. And cichlids, you know, that will happen. Anytime you look at an old individual, a lot of times they'll develop maybe, you know, some sunken belly. The fins will start to get a little ratty. Sometimes, you know, they'll, just like people and everything else, they'll show wear over time. So, you know, considering that I've had some of these, you know, fish species like this Mapanga red in here for years, and doesn't look any older than the day I basically purchased them, that shows you some of them can definitely, you know, have some of them have a good longevity to them. So other than that, that's about it. Again, here's the Madagascar. Too bad that, let me see if I can lighten it up a little bit. Loves to hang out at the top of the water column. I did a profile video of her when she was a lot smaller, and that video is done very well. Again, a very, very beautiful specimen. And overall, everything is done very, very nicely in this aquarium. So other than that, that's the update on the 120, and I'll follow up again with something again probably sooner than later. Thanks for watching.